First, I want to spend a few minutes with Senator John Husted. Kind of join me this morning, talk about what's not happening, and that's this government reopening, if you will. Senator, appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me on. Thank you.
Let's talk about pay first. You're not taking it, and you want to make sure the military does get paid, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. When you have a government shutdown, I don't think members of Congress should receive their pay because nobody else that's working, military, air traffic controllers, people like that, are not getting paid. So I'm not taking my pay, and I've voted 11 times to keep the government open, but we still can't get the 5 additional Democrats that we need to join us. And so we're stuck, but we're going to try a new way to deal with this tomorrow. We have something called the Shutdown Fairness Act, which means anybody who has to work, military, TSA, air traffic controllers, first responders, people like that, that we get them paid. So we're going to try a new approach here to get at least people paid, even though the government will still be shut down, but we'll continue to vote to open things up. We need 5 more Democrats to join us. Right now we have 3. We need 5 more.
I think there's over 10,000 active military members that actually call Ohio home, right?
Yeah, well, it's bigger than that. I mean, when you consider everybody who at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, they have a bunch of civilian and military personnel that don't get paid. So Wright-Patterson has over 30,000 people that work there. So it's an amazing amount of military people who work in Ohio, and we need to help them out. Members of Congress, when they come to this place, remember what they do. They pass TSA security. They rely on air traffic controllers to fly in here. They have the Capitol Police. They have this whole system in which all of these people are working but not getting paid. I don't know how they look all of these folks in the eye and say, "Hey, I'm not going to open the government up and get you paid." So I'm hopeful that their consciences will start to wear on them and they'll do right by these people.
If you can explain this to me, a little Buckeye speak. We're talking about this. The Democrats want these subsidies continuing for the what is called the Affordable Care Act, which is kind of an odd thing anyway that we called it that. The Obamacare. Having said that, aren't these the subsidies that were put on during the pandemic to help people?
Yes, these are pandemic-era subsidies to help people while they were out of work or, when we had that terrible period. They were put on for 4 years. The Democrats voted for them and had them scheduled to be expired at the end of this year. It was their vote. All Democrats voted for it. But now it's expired based on the timeline they created, and now they want to keep it going. And look, I want everybody to have access to affordable care, to have access to health insurance and things like that. But this system is broken. This Obamacare system is broken because they created a pool of older, unhealthy people that couldn't find insurance anywhere else for the most part. They dumped them in this pool. It doesn't work. It's got to be fixed. I'm happy to work on that, but we got to open up the government and do our first responsibility and then continue to work on all of these healthcare issues, because healthcare is the number one driver of inflation in the 21st century. It's long. This Obamacare plan doesn't work in terms of affordability. It works fine with certain terms of coverage, but not affordability. And it's bankrupting our country. It's making it too hard for people to pay for it, and it needs work.
I believe I even heard Vice President Vance say a few days into the shutdown, look, we're happy to talk about this with Democrats, but you've got to reopen the government. We got to get back to business, and then we can talk about these things, right?
Yeah, because look, understand what we're trying to do. We have what's called a clean CR, which funds government at current levels that it's funded at, which, by the way, is Joe Biden's budget, okay? And while we continue to work on all these things, understand, even if we pass that clean CR, it would only keep the government open until November the 21st, when we'd have to go through all of this again. So it's silly that it's shut down. People aren't getting paid. Taxpayers aren't getting services for many people who will eventually get paid and aren't working right now, and it's just nonsense. Get it open. Let's keep talking. Work through these issues on behalf of the American people.
All right. One other thing, I know I probably not be talking to the other side about why we're not be able to do some of this stuff. Even Governor DeWine, though, yesterday, I think, as you well know, put out the call, say, look, we got these SNAP things coming up. Those benefits November 1st. He's worried about those and money in the pipeline for programs like that.
Yeah, I'm worried about it too, because these are, that program is for mothers with infants, okay, who need food and the resources for their newborns, and that has to, that's another one of the issues that needs to be resolved. It's why we need to get this going. I know many Democrats want to vote to get this reopened. Why? Because in the past they've been the most vocal people that say, "Hey, don't let government shut down." But right now, Chuck Schumer is basically saying, "No, we're going to hold the line. Don't vote." Even though 3 Democrats have crossed and voted with us on this, we just need 5 more, and we'll stick to it until we get this done. But this is a very sad situation. I'm very, very disappointed to see the way that this is happening, and we've got to get government reopened, serving people, and solve all kinds of problems. We have healthcare problems. We have all kinds of problems that we need to work on, not playing political games.
I hear your frustration and sadness. Senator John Husted kind of joined me for a few from D.C. this morning. Senator, I appreciate it. Have a good day, okay?
Yep. Thank you.